Hey there everyone, this is Amy here. Today we're in my back garden. This is my side entrance into the back. I recently did somewhat of a redesign of my garden, chopped down a few big trees or plants to kind of let in more sunlight into the area, because I find it's just too big and it's blocking too much sunlight, and some of my plants seems to have been suffering a little bit. I love all roses, but I gotta say this is probably one of my favorite, and she does so well in my garden. This is her second flush, and look at her, full of bloom still. I bought her, I don't know, many years ago at Canadian Tires. She doesn't have any scent per se, but she blooms like crazy. This one's also a very pretty one, full of buds. There's only one bloom that has opened. I think in the coming days the rest will open as well. Gorgeous color. This one I got at Costco for only $15.99, and she has performed so well all summer long. I just deadheaded her recently, so she doesn't have a lot of blooms on her right now, but she has tons of buds on her. This one is also another beauty. I just love this color. Also just planted this year, and she's grown so much. I recently chopped off a really big rose of Sharon right here. You can see the stump. And ever since doing so, this rose has pushed on so much new growth. She's the exact same color as this one right here. I bought two of them. The bloom lasts forever, and it's constantly pushing out new buds, as you can see this one right here. And also she grows so well. Here's a new one I planted this year. Again, similar color as the other one. Love this peachy color. She was the one that suffered the most because of that rose of Sharon. And since chopping it down, I noticed she's pushing out new growth. So hopefully she will have more blooms soon. This one is also a new one I planted this year. Once again, that peachy tone, which I absolutely love. She's so pretty. This one, wow. This one is not one of my favorite. I planted this maybe 2 years ago. It has a bit of a funky color, to be honest with you. Doesn't look anything like its picture, but you know what? She's doing so well, so I'm just gonna leave her alone. I chopped down a second rose of Sharon just about right here to let in more sunlight. Ever since doing so, so much new growth right here on my rose. And then I tucked in some zinnias and some cleome right here in the back just to fill that space. I'm also hoping that they will self-seed, so this whole patch here next year will be full of them next year. Here's another one that was really covered when the rose of Sharon was here. Once again, look, it's pushing out all these new growth. Super excited. This color is gorgeous when it's in bloom. This one is a new one this year. Oh my goodness, look at that. She is so pretty. And she's been blooming all summer too. This is her second flush. Isn't she so pretty? This is a ginormous patch of this of phlox, and there's only one left here, but gosh, when it was in full bloom, it was so pretty. I'm thinking of dividing it and spreading it in other areas of the garden. These are coneflowers that I added this year. Heuchras, love this color. This is a sunny knockout. Gotta say, not impressed whatsoever. It's its second year, and it doesn't really bloom that much, and it seems to always have some kind of disease on its leaves, and it's not pretty. I'm thinking about digging it out and replacing it we'll see. I'm gonna give it one last chance next year and see if I want to dig out. And this one is the other one that does really poorly. I think it's the lemonade one. Once again, does not perform very well in my garden whatsoever. Here's the bloom, spent bloom, and a new one. I might dig this one out. I'm not loving her too much in here. I might just give it away to somebody, a friend who might want it. This is a yellow rose down here. I think is called Midnight Romantica or something like that. Second year, not vigorous grower so far. Not a lot of blooms either. I think it's maybe partly because it's underneath this huge hydrangea tree here and it's blocking a lot of its sunlight. This one is such a pretty one. Oh my gosh, when it's in bloom. It's first year only, so it doesn't have a lot of buds or bloom yet, but when it was in bloom, it was so pretty. I'm hoping next year, once she's more established, she will produce a lot more flowers for me. Some Cosmo, love these ones. More cone flowers. This one I've had for so many years. Gotta say, she's not a great performer. I can't remember what her name is, but each year she pushes out a few blooms, but has not grown all that much over the years. But I'll keep her because I love her color. This is a phlox. I love the color of these blooms. I am not crazy about the color of the leaves, to be honest with you. It just doesn't seem to go too well with my color scheme. But I might keep it for one more year and see. It might grow on me. This one I love. I planted this one maybe 2 or 3 years now, and this is her second flush, so it's not a ginormous flush, but at the beginning of season it was gorgeous. Love that pale pink flower. I also have another yellow one here. She's not in bloom right now, but she has some buds on her. First year growing these guys. Gumfrina, I believe, from Proven Winner. Bought it as a tiny little plant. She's finally pushing out all of her flowers. Really pretty. Pairs really well with this cone flower here. Black Eye Susan, very reliable, spreads like crazy, but I love the cheerful color. Here I have a second Sunny Knockout. Not a great performer in my garden. The blooms are okay. I'm still sitting on the fence whether I want to replace it and give this one away. We'll see. I added, I think, about 3 new roses here. Oh no, actually 5, sorry. So I got a pink one right here. She is her first year, so she hasn't produced a lot of blooms, but she's growing really well, so I'm hoping next year she'll do better. This one is also a newer one. This one, the color is gorgeous, Dark Desire. Oh my gosh, so pretty. She also has put on some growth, a few blooms here and there, but not a lot. Hopefully next year she'll have more. And then also, I think this one is a Queen Elizabeth back here. Added this year also. The red climbing rose in the back there, it's doing really well, but it hasn't bloomed a lot, which is okay as long as it's growing nicely. I'm totally fine with it. This one has a really unique color. So it starts off kind of whitish like this one right here, and then it will mature into this pink. This one was added this year. This one was also added this year. I love this color, and their blooms, they last so very long. Very pretty. More phlox. And I have a hydrangea here. I actually have quite a few hydrangeas here. I think they're all Annabelles. I got it as a cutting from a friend and kind of just multiply over the years. Don't know exactly its variety. This one I planted new this year. I've never grown them before. Seems to do really well here. Constantly in color. Pairs really well with the other colors in my garden. This one is also a new one called Pretty Lady. And she's producing quite a bit of flowers. I recently chopped down a huge lilac plant right here that was ginormous, and it covered so much of the sunlight that was in this area. Hence why the roses didn't do so well. So I chopped it down. I'm planning to replace it with the Sun King here, just to add some color. I'm covering this here so that the root or the stump will die. Hopefully next year it will be gone. This one is a white one. I love this color, but you know what? FYI, it does not look like that when it's in bloom. Not like that at all. But it's white and it's pretty enough, so I'll keep it around. More roses. This one has just finished blooming, so there's no flowers on it right now. This one is a very pretty one. This one's an old bloom. It doesn't really showcase it very well, but there's some in the back there. I can't really reach it, to be honest with you. It's a very pretty one. I have some hydrangeas there. Endless Summer, I believe this one is. I think this is the one, if you add amend the soil, you'll get blue color, but I prefer the pink, so I leave it alone. Yellow one, this one I bought at the same time as that purple one from Canadian Tires. Very reliable, comes back every year, blooms like crazy. This one is another one, can't remember the name, and I lost a tag for I planted many years ago. It's a climbing rose. It's just in second flush right now. The first flush had so much blooms. This one, obviously not as many, but I just love this soft pink color. And also another climbing rose right beside this one's also a pink one. It is in second flush, lots of buds. So in about a week or two, I should have a lot more flowers. I underplanted these with some salvia. Can't remember what the name of these are, but I love the color. And I was kind of surprised how big it grew. I didn't expect it to be quite that big. And then of course, down here are the Allium, the Millennium, I believe these are the variety. Second year in the garden. Love them so far. Bees. Today I don't know where all the bees are, but usually they're covered in with bees and pollinators. The butterflies also really love them. Here, there's just a few today. Usually I would say there's like 20, 30 at one time. These are so cute. This is my first year growing Diamond Frost from Proven Winners. Also these Gumfrina here, also from Proven Winners. More zinnias. I started from seed. My favorite colors are the pink and the peachy one. I'm not crazy about the orange or the yellow. I'm sorry if you guys like these colors, but not my favorite. And look at these. They are still pushing out so many blooms. They've been blooming all summer long. These are clematis. I thought they were gonna grow or climb really high up, but they haven't done that yet. I don't know if they will, or these stays kind of small, but gosh, the colors and the blooms are so pretty. Gara, gotta say, I love this one so much. This one I bought this season, and I bought two different colors. This is a lighter one, and she's been blooming all summer long. I bought also a darker color that did not do quite as well. It produced a lot of leaves, but not much flowers. So I would highly recommend this lighter color. More roses. This one is also new this year. Look at this. This one is always suffering from a powdery mildew, so I've had to spray it down a few times, so that's why the leaves don't look too nice, but she's still producing a lot of blooms. foxgloves that I've started from seed produce a ton of leaves but no bloom stalk yet. I don't think it's going to bloom until next year. Another new one I added this year. Oh my gosh, I love these colors. Whole bunch of buds forming, so it should be covered with lots of blooms soon. Here's the tag for it. These ones are freebies this year. I bought these last year. Have no idea what the name of what the names are, and they self-seeded in the exact same pot. What a pleasant surprise. Love it when they do that. This is Feverfew that I started from seed. Love this one. I will definitely be growing these again next year. This one I added this year. Oh my gosh, I love this color so much. It just pairs so well with everything else I have in my garden. Aren't these gorgeous? These took forever to bloom. I bought it at the beginning of the season and they just kept growing leaves but nothing, and finally, boom, flowers. And here we are again looking at my purple roses. Oh my goodness, she is so pretty. Second flush and look at her. My goodness. She's about 6 feet tall now. And I do trim her back every year and she grows quite well, comes back reliably. I love her. This one I started from seed. Seeded a whole packet and only 3 survived. I'm not the best at seed, growing things from seed. I'm always trying, I'm always experimenting, but I'm getting better at it, so that's good. This I bought at the beginning of the season. That's a daisy. Hasn't produced a lot of blooms, to be honest with you. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna buy them again next year. Not crazy. Oh yes. This is a new one I added this year. It grew a lot of leaves, but not a lot of blooms. Hopefully next year it will produce way more. This is the other climbing rose I was telling you about. At the beginning of the season, she was so pretty, full of blooms. She's producing more buds now, but obviously not as many, but she's grown a lot. Look, she covers this whole side from top to bottom. More roses here. I love this color. This is her second year. I think one of the problem here was I had a huge pine tree right where this Sun King plant was, right over here. It was as big as this one. So it covered a lot of the sunlight that was coming into this whole area. I've since chopped it down recently, and I think because I did that, I'm starting to see a whole bunch of new growth. This one barely flowered this year. I think because she's right beside the pine tree, but she's starting to push out some new buds now. Same with this one. So I think these two will be doing much better now without the pine tree blocking all the sunlight. Dahlias. I grew a whole bunch of these from tubers that I bought from Costco. Love this color. Love the leaves, love the flower color. This one also my first year growing, Cafe au Lait variety. These two were also blocked. Didn't get a lot of sunlight. Now that they are in full sun, I hope that they will produce more blooms. Fuchsia. This one I got this year also. This one blooms really well. This is a Bobo that I got this year. I'm planning to keep it in its pot, so I transplant it into a deeper pot. I hope it will overwinter for me in this container. Fingers crossed. I have a small collection here of desert roses. These are This is a tiny little baby ones that's starting to kind of grow or size up. These are starting to bud up. This one not so much, but these three over here, flower buds, and more flower buds. Hopefully they will bloom soon for me. This begonia has been doing so well all season. It's starting to look a bit tired now, so I just gave it a haircut. But this color is so pretty. My goodness. And here you have it. That's my back garden. Eek, I'm a little bit embarrassed to show you this corner. This is my workstation corner. I don't know if everybody has one of these, but it is so messy all the time, and I try my best to keep it nice and tidy and neat, but I give up. It is what it is. And here you have it. That is my back garden. I hope you enjoyed the tour. See you next time. Bye now.